The story is about colonial rule in India. The year is 1892. Gopal, a brilliant young engineer from Madras, stood on the deck of a steamer watching the lights of London fade. He was one of the few hundred Indians to be educated at the prestigious British University, a product of the colonial education system launched by the Raj. He believed he was returning home to modernize India. Gopal's first assignment was on a railway project in the Deccan Plateau. The very lines British boasted were the gift to India. He discovered the first buried truth in its budget ledger. The secret of the steel. The specifications demanded that every single component, from the rails and locomotives to the nuts and bolts, be manufactured in Britain and shipped to India. India, however, had vast deposits of iron ore, skilled metal workers, and a history of fine steel making. Yet, Gopal's proposal to build a small local foundry to cut costs was rejected outright by the Britain's chief engineer, Mr. Harrington. Nonsense, Gopal, Harrington scoffed. Tapping his pipe, Indian industry is simply not mature enough. We import British goods because they are superior and guaranteed. It is economic efficiency. The true secret was this: the railways were not built primarily for India's internal development, but to serve as a high speed extraction system. They linked the interior mines and cash crop farms directly to the port cities, efficiently funneling raw materials out and bringing British factory goods in. The policy was designed to prevent the growth of independent Indian heavy industries, ensuring that British factories fueled by Indian raw materials had a guaranteed captivated market in India. The gift was a chain, forged in British steel and paid for with Indian taxes. Years later, Gopal was serving in the education department. Attempted to implement better technical schools, he uncovered the second, more insidious secret: the Macaulay shadow. He found an old official memo detailing the true intent behind the 1835 English Education Act, a policy meant to create a class of persons Indians by blood and colors, but English in taste, in opinion, in morals, and in intellect. The public justifications was to civilize India. The hidden truth was the secretarial economy. The Raj was vast and the British civil service was small. By shifting the focus away from traditional Indian learning and technical scientific education, the British created a factory for inexpensive English speaking subordinates who could manage the paperwork, but were structurally barred from holding real power or building independent ventures. They became the Raj's vital, loyal intermediaries. The buried truth of the Raj was that it built a manifest, seemingly modern architecture, railways, ports, colleges, not as a foundation for Indian greatness, but as a brilliant, self sustaining suffocating of extraction designed to collapse the moment a supporting foreign economy was removed, leaving the newly independent nation with a system expertly optimizing for exporting its wealth, not generating it for its own people. The story wasn't just in the battles, but in the budgets, the train schedules, and the curriculum. Thank you.